Jimi Hendrix was a one-hit wonder. Alice in Chains really doesn't even exist. Money Talks is AC/DC's big signature song. Hi, I'm Robert Fitton, and this is why you can't always trust the Billboard Top 40 charts. Let's start with the Jimi Hendrix Experience. All Along the Watchtower. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix Experience just had the one song that went to the top 40. It went to number 20, All Along the Watchtower, which makes him a one-hit wonder, according to the Billboard charts. That's pretty good for a guy that they put out two big double albums, Essential, you know, this one and then the follow-up sequel, which actually they had to put a 7-inch single in with it. Too many big songs. Just the one hit, though. The Who. These guys are dropping a new compilation of all their big songs every time somebody drops a hat, but they only have one top 10. They got a few top 40 hits, but just one top 10. Number 9, I Can See for Miles. So not really a one-hit wonder, but a one top 10 hit wonder. The Who. Who? Guess who? Actually had 6 top 10 singles. They're a little more poppy, so they got in there more with their top 6 top 10. So guess who taking on The Who? Sounds like a win for Canada to me. Led Zeppelin. They just got the one top 10 hit. You see the pattern here? It's not even Black Dog or Stairway to Heaven. It's not even Rock and Roll. It's Whole Lotta Love is their only top 10 hit with the whole, yeah, I know it's not on here. The whole middle six, that's on that. The whole middle section is cut out of that song on the 45. Pink Floyd. Thankfully, a rock band with a number 1 hit. Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 going to number 1. All the way. Thankfully, a rock band's represented somewhere. Money was their other hit, went to number 13, which basically means that they only had 2 hits, one of them going to number 1, which means that the band Player is actually a more popular group than Pink Floyd. So yeah, why is all of this happening? Why do Jimi Hendrix only have the one hit? What is the deal with these Billboard charts? Well, in the 70s, it's a lot like this. You know, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, those are groups that people usually bought on albums. They didn't buy the 45s. I mean, sometimes, like maybe a Whole Lot of Love, I guess people bought that. But mostly you would buy the album and you wouldn't need to go out and also buy the 45. So those 45s just kind of sat there a lot of the times. So they didn't sell as much as the 45s of like pop songs, where people didn't necessarily want the whole David Cassidy album. They just wanted the 45. They didn't want the whole Player album, as mentioned before. They just wanted Baby Come Back, even though the 45's edited, just so you're aware the album version's longer. But yeah, so that explains kind of all of the reason why, you know, they're not really represented on the charts. Also, radio stations at that time, a lot of the ones that were playing just top 40 hits, they threw a little rock in there every once in a while. The rock singles they would play, sometimes they wouldn't play them as much. They would sometimes day part them, which means they would only play them at certain times, like at night. They'd only play them after 6 o'clock or whatever, after the workday was over. So they weren't played as much on the radio, so not as much representation. But here, all these years later, you can't, I mean, these are huge acts, huge bands with huge songs, not represented on the Billboard charts, though. Mountain, Mississippi Queen, their big hit, it went to number 21. And this is what actually gave me the idea to do this video. I remember when Leslie West passed away. It's been over a year, but it's been kind of in the back of my mind for a year to do a video like this, I guess. But I was reading about it, and a lot of the, and I'm not talking about people in vinyl community videos, I'm talking professional music journalists, said that Leslie West was the leader of Mountain, a group known for their number 21 pop hit, Mississippi Queen. And I just thought that was such bad journalism. It does not matter that Mississippi Queen went to number 21 on the fucking pop charts. What matters is, it's a hard rock song that's become a rock classic that's been played on classic rock and rock stations over and over, heavy rotation for decades. It's a song most people know, you know, and love. Most people don't know songs that only went to number 21 on the pop charts. To say that this is a number 21 pop, it doesn't tell the whole story. It completely misrepresents it. And it gave me the idea over a year ago to do this video that I've kind of had in the back of my mind. Thankfully, Billboard tried to remedy that situation back in 1981 when they came out with actual rock charts. So the 80s are a little better when you just go by the rock charts. But you have to get the rock charts, not the top 40 charts. And those really aren't listed a lot of times in Wikipedia. It's just, they just list the top 40 ones, or, you know, you also have the country charts and the R&B charts. A lot of these, you know, songs represented more on there. Leonard Skinner only had one top 10 hit, Sweet Home Alabama. Again, part of the song cut out on the single. The Beatles, okay? Well, we've talked about rock bands, and we know now why they're not represented and why you can't really go by Billboard top 100 or top 40 charts when it comes to rock bands. We got that, right? Okay, what about the Beatles? Beatles are more of a pop rock band. They had, screaming teenagers and stuff. According to Billboard charts, the Beatles movie medley, which went to number 12, 1982, more popular than anything on here. More popular than, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, or, Helter Skelter back in the USSR. More popular than all of those, the Beatles movie medley, according to Billboard charts. Now, the Rock of Fire Explosion from Showbiz Pizza, their single of the Beatles medley, I guess it wasn't popular enough. It was only sold at Showbiz Pizza, so unfortunately, this did not chart. But this is interesting. According to the Billboard charts, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is an Elton John song. And only an Elton John song. I mean, John Lennon sings backup on it, but it's an Elton John song. David Bowie, sometimes the English pop stuff doesn't chart right, because there were special stations that you would play a lot of that, and there are ones here in the Midwest that weren't. I think the Midwest made sure that David Bowie only had 2 number 1 hits, Fame and Let's Dance. Just 2 number 1s for David Bowie, and he's almost totally pop, right? Well, I mean, we talked about the Beatles earlier. Got to talk about the Beach Boys. Isn't that the rule? The Beatles and the Beach Boys, right? Beach Boys. Man, they got a lot of hits, right? They did have like 4 number 1s. Just 4. You would think they'd have like 10 number 1s. Just 4. And, which one of these, or maybe some of the later ones, are going to be like the biggest Beach Boys hit at all? Are you ready, Beach Boys fans? Ready for the biggest Beach Boys hit out of all of them? I want to take you down to Kokomo. We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. Or however he says fast. He says fast in a really weird way. Yeah, the one that Mike Love said, this is what the Beach Boys should sound like. He really kind of did show Brian Wilson. I mean, he did give the Beach Boys their biggest hit ever at a time when they were completely irrelevant. So Mike Love thinks he's awesome. Well, there's some evidence. What's up, Wilson? Randy Newman had all kinds of quirky songs, some great lyrical songs too. A lot of respect for this guy. The Billboard charts would have you believe that Short People is the only song he ever did. Only hit. Short People. I don't even think you can play that song on the radio anymore. Oh, look, Prince. Prince, 1999. You know that song? Wasn't even a top 10 hit? Wasn't even a top 10 hit. Now, of course, Prince only had like maybe 3 number 1s. I know When Doves Cry was one of them. What was his big song? What do you think Prince's biggest hit out of all of them were? Little Red Corvette, When Doves Cry. Obviously, it wasn't 1999. I just said that wasn't even a top 10. Was it, Kiss? Was it, one of his earlier ones? Was it like Diamonds and Pearls? You better get ready to do the Batdance if you're going to want to dance to Prince's biggest hit of all time, according to Billboard. Batdance. I don't even think that's a song. Hard rock groups, this was out in 80, 81, so it missed the Billboard rock charts by a little bit, but AC/DC have 4 hits, 4 top 40 hits. You Shook Me All Night Long going to number 35. Not their big one. What's AC/DC's signature song? We know Prince's. What's AC/DC's biggest hit? Listen to the money talks, BS walks. Yeah. With lyrics like that, I mean, how can it not be their biggest hit? How many times have you been to an AC/DC concert? They start doing that money talks, and the whole place just erupts. Yeah, they're doing fucking money talks. Never would be my answer. Metallica. They've only got a couple of singles, but they do have one top 10 hit. It's obviously their biggest. It's their signature song, according to Billboard. Everybody knows this Metallica. The Metallica song I'm talking about. That's like, you've got the one Metallica song, and then the others. The one really kind of stands out as the one everybody loves, everybody knows. Yeah, of course, it's Until It Sleeps. Yeah, that's the biggest Metallica hit by far, according to the Billboard Top 40 charts. What about the 90s rock? Because they've got the 90s rock chart, right? They should be getting a little better with the 90s. What about the Seattle groups like Pearl Jam? Well, Pearl Jam only have a couple of top 10 hits. I mean, do these look like Pearl Jam's biggest songs to you? But their biggest song according to the Billboard charts, the one everybody loves from Pearl Jam, their cover of J. Frake Wilson's Last Kiss. That's the, oh, come on, boy. This is terrible, by the way. If you've never, you don't, I mean, come on. This is Pearl. When we're walking away, I can see people who don't know anything about Pearl Jam or whatever, 90s music, going to Wikipedia trying to make a video going, and they're best known for their song Last Kiss. No, they're not. Nirvana. Nirvana's got 4 top 40s. Now, obviously, this was a huge single, Smells Like Teen Spirit. They actually got this one right. It was a top 5 hit. Come As You Are preceded that. And then the other 2 Nirvana hits are from this album. In Utero, not a thing on the Billboard Top 40 charts. Here's some interesting stuff. These guys never had a #1 hit. Journey never had a #1 hit. And their big song, their signature song, it's not Don't Stop Believin', it's Open Arms, their biggest hit. Bruce Springsteen. Look at this album. I mean, I know he does a lot of album tracks early on, but you'd think this one, Bruce Springsteen, never had a #1 hit. The only thing he came close, Blinded by the Light, written by him, done by Manfred Mann's Earth Band, went to #1 in 1974. But Bruce Springsteen never had #2s. #2s all over the place, but never went to #1. Creedence Clearwater Revival never had a #1 hit. All those hits they had all over the radio. Everybody loves them. Chronicle, full of hits, never had a #1. Violent Femmes don't even exist on the Billboard Top 40 charts. They're not even a thing. That Blister in the Sun song that a lot of 80s stations play now, that was never played back in the day. That was like a college radio thing. They've turned that into like a retrospective hit. But yeah, Violent Femmes aren't even on. You won't find this name anywhere in the Billboard Top 40. Or, speaking of the Seattle grunge we were talking about earlier, Alice in Chains doesn't exist either. They don't have a hit, according to the Billboard Top 40. My whole point is, you got to do more than just look at Top 40 charts and be like, Mountain Mississippi Queen went to #21. Now, so a lot of this I've tried to explain why this can happen. You don't buy rock singles, you usually buy rock albums. Back in the 70s, radio stations didn't play a lot of rock, pushed it back at night or weekends or whatever. But here's the one I cannot explain. I have no explanation for this. Madonna. Into the Groove. That's a hit, right? That's like one of her biggest hits. I was there. I remember this being all over MTV, the radio. I've been radio, so I did research. And these days, when you do music tests and stuff like that, Into the Groove comes out as like her 2nd or 3rd favorite song with people from the 80s songs. But it's not a hit. Look for it on the Billboard. It's not there. It doesn't exist. To them, it's the B-side of Angel, and so it's not charted. But Billboard does double A-sides. Like here with the Beatles, We Can Work It Out, backed with Day Tripper, they credit both songs and call it a double A-side. Well, isn't that what this would be? This was all over the radio. Nope. Who is going to say Into the Groove is not a hit? That is a top 40 hit if I've ever heard one, but no, it's not. I have no explanation for that at all. See, this is why, even with Madonna, straight down the middle of the road pop artist, there's no way she should not be on the top 40 with Into the Groove. But there you have it. So I don't get that one, but you can't always trust the Billboard Top 40 charts. Please stop referencing them when especially talking about rock bands. Thanks. I'm Robert Fithin. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, consider giving it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't done that already if you want to see future videos. Thank you so much if you're already a subscriber and you've been commenting and everything. I love the interaction. This is what I do these videos for, and to see all the great videos that the vinyl community puts together as well. Please just stop mentioning Billboard charts and the rock ones. Thanks again for watching.